Kentucky Kingdom is currently undergoing a park-wide transformation that will forever change the landscape of the park. In case you're unfamiliar, Herschend Family Entertainment acquired Kentucky Kingdom from Ed Hart in 2021. They have committed to bringing the park up to the standard that they have set with some of their other parks like Dollywood and Silver Dollar City. While it'll certainly be tough to match the atmosphere and vibe that has been set with those parks, Herschend has been making some steady changes over the past couple seasons as they gear up for a large-scale investment. This was revealed to us over Christmas when the park's social media announced that they'll be investing $25 million over the next 2 seasons, and this begins with $11 million for 2025. This comes in the form of a brand new land called Kentucky Nature, which will open in May. They'll be debuting 3 new kid and family-oriented attractions, a new playground, and upgrading the theming for 10 rides. You see, up until this point, Kentucky Kingdom was far and away an amusement park. Herschend Family Entertainment deals with theme parks and is clear that that is the direction that they want to take Kentucky Kingdom. Just recently, they changed the name of the park from Kentucky Kingdom in Hurricane Bay to Kentucky Kingdom Theme and Water Park. The past 2 seasons have really been focusing on events, which is something that Herschend does very well. They changed out Hallow Scream for pumpkins, which is something you can find over at Silver Dollar City and Dollywood. And just this past year, for their first ever time, Kentucky Kingdom held a Christmas event, featuring over 1 million lights. These are all excellent steps in the right direction for plussing Kentucky Kingdom, but there's still a long ways to go, and there's a couple things that we can look to that Herschend has done that can point us for where they're headed in the future. And sometimes, in order to welcome something new, you have to get rid of what is already there. Our first big closure that we saw was T3, the Parks of Vekoma SLC. This was not a loved attraction, but interestingly enough, it was the biggest roller coaster in the park. Despite the previous management's best efforts of upgrading the SLC to be more comfortable for riders, it just wasn't working. The attraction has now been taken down and is rumored to be relocated to another park. That announcement, though, has not yet been made. Some enthusiast detectives have also figured out that 3 attractions will be leaving the park before the start of the 2025 season. This includes the Rapids, Eye of the Storm, a Larson Loop, and Cyclos, which is a frisbee that flips you all the way upside down. If you visit the park's website, you will not find any trace of these attractions, and in fact, just recently, Kentucky Kingdom posted a park map on their social media, and you can see that the Rapids and Eye of the Storm are completely gone from the park map. Cyclos, however, is still there, interestingly enough. I'm not surprised in the least to see the Eye of the Storm and the Rapids go. The Rapids was very expensive and problematic, and Eye of the Storm is really just an eyesore, and that's not the type of attraction that Herschend likes to have in their park. It just screams carnival, and if you want to upgrade the park's atmosphere, it means that you need to put in attractions that are aesthetically pleasing. This new Kentucky Nature Land is going to be an excellent step in the right direction. It has not yet been confirmed where this land will be located in the park, however, the park will be making that official announcement on the 17th. I suspect it'll be this back area here by Thunder Run and Storm Chaser. It's easily the most wooded section of the park, so it wouldn't be that hard to start upgrading it, planting even more trees, flowers, anything to beautify, and that section really needed some help. The previous management was much more focused on rides. While there certainly was a horticulture team, that was not necessarily at the forefront of their minds. Ed Hart had this mantra of people come for roller coasters. And while to an extent that is true, I think it is much more important to have an inviting atmosphere. And Kentucky Kingdom really needed some help. You know, the 2025 season marks 11 years since the park reopened after its closure from Six Flags. They really have come a long way since being abandoned. New investments like Storm Chaser and Lightning Run, Kentucky Flyer are all awesome, but the potential is there for Kentucky Kingdom to be brought to the next level, and I think Herschend sees that. Louisville is a very promising area, and nearby competition like Holiday World and Kings Island proves that theme parks can be successful here. And I think the fact that you have 2 other big parks so close acts as motivators for them to step up their game. Kentucky Kingdom's been sitting relatively idle since Kentucky Flyer opened. Meanwhile, Holiday World and Kings Island have made a lot of substantial new investments. But even events aside, Herschend has already done more for Kentucky Kingdom than they ever have Wild Adventures. Which makes sense, that place is in the middle of nowhere. In the past, I know Kentucky Kingdom has pulled numbers like over 1 million guests a year. I don't believe they are currently pulling numbers like that, But with so much experience in the theme park market, I believe that Herschend, if done right, can bring Kentucky Kingdom to a level where they could once again be pulling in the crowds. But these next couple of years are really going to define how much more investment we see in the property. Will this new land, Kentucky Nature, pay off? I think with the right marketing and if they really put in their best efforts with theming, there's a good chance that people will come out for it. I don't think it'll be the thrill seekers. It'll more likely be your families with kids, but those are the ones that spend the most money. And inherently, I think it's hard to quantify like how much of a return on investment beauty and landscaping will bring. I think it more so shows its benefits if people are willing to come back, that they see how nice it is. They said, yes, I had a great time. I'm going to tell all my friends that they should come out and do the same. But as great as Kentucky Nature I'm sure could be, it doesn't change the fact that the 2025 season is going to be tough for Kentucky Kingdom. I believe the park is going to feel very disjointed. There will be at least 5 plots of land for where former attractions were that are now sitting vacant, and it's going to be sad. Think about that one strip of land next to Thunder Run where that fence has said fun under construction for like 5 years straight, and it was a huge eyesore. It'll be like that, but times 3. So I think this is really going to be an in-between year for Kentucky Kingdom. I think the Kentucky Nature section will look nice, while everything else will feel like clearly a work in progress. From my understanding, one of Herschend's intents with filling in this land is relocating some other attractions from the park to this area. They recently filed permits for a 129-foot tall structure next to Thunder Run, which conveniently is the height of Starcatcher and their Larson Drop Tower. So it's very likely that one of those attractions will get moved to be next to Thunder Run. I suspect it'll be Starcatcher. Another picture recently surfaced of the park dismantling their pirate ship. In a survey the park sent out that was posted on a Kentucky Kingdom Facebook group, you can see a swinging ship in this Kentucky Grove picture compilation. So my guess is that attraction will have a new home next year, which will free up even more space at the front of the park for something else. I remember back in 2020, Kentucky Kingdom was originally planning an RMC Raptor to go up there by Lightning Run. But due to the pandemic, it was canceled, and it was actually acquired by Silverwood and now operates as Stunt Pilot. So maybe the swinging ship location is just the first step in redoing this area, but until then, it might feel a little empty. In that same survey that was sent out, we saw several other concepts for different themed areas of the park, including Celebration Downs, Farm, Fun, and Family, Fireman's Landing, and Lake Life Kentucky. Lake Life Kentucky is assumed to be a retheme of Hurricane Bay. Fireman's Landing was speculated to be the area by Storm Chaser that we can now assume will be Kentucky Nature, so I don't know if we'll see Fireman's Landing continue forward. Celebration Downs is believed to be their concept for the front of the park, which just makes sense. Kentucky Kingdom is down the street from the Kentucky Derby. I cannot believe that they have not embraced that yet. It seems like the most obvious theme to do, so I really like these concepts that Herschend came up with. It seems like they are putting the Kentucky in Kentucky Kingdom. It makes me wonder if we'll see one of these other themed areas brought forward for 2026 for the rest of that $25 million investment. If I had to take a guess, it would be Lake Life Kentucky so that they can improve that area where the Rapids in T3 used to be. Put in some new water slides and pools. Don't put in another roller coaster to replace it. One of the quirkiest traits of Kentucky Kingdom was their bizarre layout. You had water rides mixed in with the dry rides, and it didn't make any sense. By taking out T3 and the Rapids, you can now make the water park more cohesive. And from what I understand, the current Hurricane Bay is a huge moneymaker for the park. Many people come in just for that, so it makes total sense to bring in some new slides. Last year, there was also a proposal put in place to remove the Circle of Champions road that cuts through the middle of the park, so you'd no longer have to cross via a bridge or a crosswalk, which would be a huge win. That might be the best change that could come through with the new version of Kentucky Kingdom. So all this being said, Herschend clearly has a lot of money that they are willing to invest as they try to make Kentucky Kingdom more of a major competitor in the area. It'll take a lot of work to bring that park up to that standard, but I think it can be done. If they end up putting in any of these attractions that are mentioned in that survey, such as a wave swinger, a horse-themed motorbike coaster, scream and swing, disco, all of those seem like quality attractions that would really help with the current atmosphere and a more cohesive feel. So I look forward to seeing how all these changes take place. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of Herschend's big goals for Kentucky Kingdom, what you would love to see done to improve the park, and stay tuned for more here at Coaster Studios, and I'll see you next time.